Hey guys, how's it going? This is my living room renovation video. Not sure how many of you are actually interested in the renovating side, but it's all wealth gain really, like stocks and property. Um, my end goal with all of it is to create wealth while I'm young. This photo we've got here is a previous listing photo for my house. So not even the time that I bought it. It was previous listing. This is the listing photos for when I bought the house. So would have been around it's there on the photo. August last year this photo was taken, and I bought the house September 30th. This whole renovation took about a month, just under a month, but most of it was dealing with that fireplace. As you can see, the light is pretty crappy. It actually only two of the bulbs or something turned on. The carpet is all like burned from the fireplace. The fireplace has like been essentially like chopped off at the roof. So they replaced the roof about 5 years before I bought the house, and they didn't remove the fireplace from within the house, but they removed the chimney and like above the house. So had to remove the front of that because it's not a pretty one that I could keep. So this is after I have replaced the light in that room. That's all I've done there. Yeah, you can see the paint's getting ready to be put in, and a bunch of the other stuff, tools getting ready to take out the fireplace. It's the fireplace, and that is the demolition phase. I only really needed to come to about here, but because I hadn't fully decided what I was doing, like whether I wanted to take out this whole brick structure or not, I did pull all this jib off to see what was kind of going on here. But like, it's kind of good that I did, because now I know what's in there. Because I've got one other fireplace that I plan to use this blank room to run a pipe. I don't know what you would call it, a vent for the range hood. Because this gap goes all the way up into the ceiling space, so I can use the pipe can go like in through there into the ceiling space and then out the little overhang on the outside of the house. Yeah, demolition was a pretty big job, and there was a lot of rubbish to get rid of. No, it did not fit in that bin. And I couldn't put much of it in there anyway because it starts weighing a lot. So this is after I've got pretty much everything out that I need to get out, and tidied it up, vacuumed it out. These bricks are actually all back at wall level, so it was kind of here that I decided that I was going to leave all the bricks and just cover it over. Initially I was thinking I might remove this, but as you saw in the previous photos, like when I saw how high up it went all the way to the ceiling. I wasn't really expecting that, because when I had previously like looked up into it, it looked like it stopped like right here, but no. It goes all the way up here. So I had to fill in this bottom bit here to make the floor level, because it's about 4 centimeters down to that concrete, and then I had to jib over the top of the whole fireplace, and obviously I had to put some framing in there. So you can see down here the floor, I used some 20 mil just bits of wood, and I just put like slats across the whole way, and then I used 18 mil jib. I mean jib, not jib, sorry. I've completely forgotten what that wood's called. Plywood, that's the one. And that concrete was like slightly off level with the floor, so that was a bit of an issue, but all I really need to do is make it level. So all I did was, it was just this corner that's dipped. When I was doing the plastering, I just put some plaster into that corner, just so there wasn't like a huge dip, because there was like a ½ centimeter dip, like just in this bit here. So I just filled it with plaster, which isn't the perfect solution. I probably should have used some leveling concrete, but considering I'm just going to put the flooring, the blanking over the top, doesn't really make a difference. Although I wouldn't expect a professional to do that. This is the framing that I put in. So I put a little bit in these corners to hold the jib, because there's not a lot of excess on the side here to screw into. Obviously I had to put the stuff in the middle so that meets the minimum spacing requirements for the framing. And then I chucked these two beams in because I thought it would be a good place to mount a TV at 1.5 meters off the ground. Obviously there's also an option of putting a mounting bracket here or here, but just added another option, centered in the wall. And I chucked the pink bats in. Didn't really like having empty space there, so much empty space. Like, it's better just to cover it in, and it is also better for the keeping heat in. And the house is really well insulated. It's really warm. It has double glazed windows throughout the entire house, so I figured might as well stick with the theme of the house, keep it really warm. Although it does get too hot on summer nights, because all the heat gets trapped. Have to sleep with the windows open and the doors open. So this is where I started with the jib. This is a thing that I'd never done before. Putting up jib and plastering. I mean, pretty much all of this I've never done before. I've never done any renovating before. Just kind of figuring it out as I go. So yeah, put some jib up. It's very difficult getting this back to my house because I don't have a tow bar and I have a tiny car. Had to enlist the help of a friend. And yeah, I had to patch up a couple of little bits as well. And then started with the plaster. First layer of plaster, terrible. First time I've ever used plaster. So I did a second layer. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. It's terrible. I had to sand it down so much. And had to do a third layer, which was better. I mean, there's still imperfections you can see. And yeah, that I was happy with the third layer once it was sanded down. So painted over the top. And I mean, this is wet paint and I haven't done to the edges or anything, and it's only the undercoat, but as you can see, like it looks good enough. It's a wall, which is all I was after. And then following that, I did paint the whole room and the walls, and then I started ripping up the carpet. Then I started laying the new flooring, which is a vinyl planking called Reclaimed Oak. Bought it from Bunnings. One thing I would do if I was doing this over is choose a cheaper flooring. They actually changed the price of the flooring on me while I was doing it, so I can't remember what it went to, but it's $92 for a box, which is 2.64 meters squared. So it's like $900 or so of flooring in just this one room, 'cause it's about 5.5 meters by 3.8, roughly. So yeah, a lot of money on flooring. Everything else is a lot cheaper than that. Like, paint only costs like $100 for $130 or so for maybe $150 for a big pot of paint. And like for the ceiling, one pot of paint, 115 litre does the whole house. And then for the walls, I think I had a 10 litre and then a 15 litre, and that's pretty much gonna finish the whole house. And then there's just the undercoats, so I mean that stuff's a lot cheaper than the flooring. And then yeah, the light costs like $100. And there's not a whole lot of like, it's pretty inexpensive except for the flooring, so I would have done a cheaper flooring if I could do this over again. But I also really like the look of this flooring, so it's a trade-off. But I do intend to turn it into a rental property, so it's not like I need to get like the most expensive and like most visually appealing items, especially in this area because it's a below average priced area. So here I've almost finished the flooring, just got that last little bit left to do. And I need to tidy up those cables in the corner. Here I've finished the flooring and put the trim in. This was a late night project. I just so close to finishing that I just kept going until I was finished. Here you can see I tidied those cables up, put them into a box. Still got all these modems and stuff here. This is like the fiber going into whatever the other fiber box is called, and then the modem's up hiding behind the curtain, which is kind of annoying, takes up a lot of space and looks kind of messy, but I was thinking of putting a shelf in, but yeah, well, probably won't end up doing that because yeah, it all changes when someone else has a different modem, and then yeah. I did end up changing the color of the light from this, so I personally think it looks better like with the color of the daylight as opposed to that really warm light. I think that's more of a personal preference. Let's just view from the other way. Got some curtains in. They're actually pretty cheap curtains. I think these small ones were $65 for a pair, and the big ones I think were $90 for a pair. So this pair is $90, and then that and that together was $65. So they're pretty inexpensive, but the person in the store did say that they would like if in direct sunlight constantly, the back would strip off within a few years. But this is a rental property, and curtains are kind of something that probably get replaced fairly often anyway, because people don't tend to take care of them as much as a homeowner would when you're just renting the property. Yeah, I think it looks quite nice, and be keen to hear your guys' opinion. Hopefully increase the value of the property. It's the overall goal in the end. Make it able to rent for more, and also increase the potential sale price, even though I don't intend to sell it. I'm going to hold it as a rental. But I would like to do a refinance, cash out refinance, just to have a bit more money to invest elsewhere, get into the stock market more and that. Yeah, so that's before and after photo. Looks like a pretty good contrast to me. But yeah, let me know what you think. And that is with the different color of the light. So I changed the color from a warm to a neutral. And yeah, personally I like that better. There is like a lot of imperfections in the room that I could go point out myself, but like everyone I've showed the room, they don't really notice any of it. So I mean, like, I'm not a professional. I put in like all the time myself, and I saved so much money from doing that, but I get like maybe 90% of the end product with like 30-40% of the cost. It would have cost a lot more, potentially even like 20% of the cost, because a lot of the cost is the labor and the markup and stuff. So I saved a lot of money by doing it myself, but yeah, there is some imperfections that I could go and point out. Like I couldn't get up into this little gap with the paint, so there is a little unpainted part up there. There's a little dip in the floor just here. It's not quite as level as it could be. Just like on the left of where the fireplace was, just like a dip. There's a bit of flooring that's like cut too close to the trim. You can actually see the edge. Yeah, just little imperfections like that, just kind of everywhere, but that's fine. Doesn't bother me. And it's only going to be a rental, so people won't even notice, let alone care. My house actually also ticked up. When I bought it, the trade me estimate data was 420,000, and it actually went down after I bought it to 410,000. And yeah, I wasn't very happy with that. I mean, obviously, if my goal is to make money and it appears to be losing money, I'm not going to be very happy with it. But now it has, with the most recent data, it's ticked up to 430,000, which would be 10,000 up from where it was when I bought it. And obviously that doesn't account for any of the renovations that I've done. So when I am fully done with the renovations, like the whole house, I will do a refinance, and so the bank will take the value of what they think it's worth now. I'll have to pay for a valuation, and then I can take out a new mortgage against the house, which is 80% of what the house is worth at the end of the renovation. And then I can pay off the existing mortgage, obviously, as part of that agreement, and then the difference is how much I get to pocket, kind of, for now. Obviously the mortgage would go up, but I'll probably be on a lower interest rate as well, and then I'll have the extra cash to invest elsewhere, take advantage of more opportunities. Yeah. So leave a like and subscribe if you like the video. Let me know what you think of the room and the style and all that. Personally, I quite like it, but obviously I'm going to say that. I chose everything. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See ya.